Hi everybody, happy fall. Since today is the first day of fall, I thought it would be fun, Rosie and I thought it would be fun to do a Vera Bradley bag of the day, top 10 fall patterns, which is really 15 with a bonus pattern thrown in. Work with me, people. So I have trouble making decisions. So I'll try to be quick about this. This is my second top 10 video, and they do tend to be long. Bags are falling all over the place. So I'll just get right to it and try to be fast. But I'm sure it'll be a little bit longer video. This is in no particular order. Because, you know, I can't make decisions, and I didn't want to spend the time trying to figure out which was my favorite. So I'll just start with this one because it's on the top of this pile here. And this is Fox Forest. This was a Dillard's exclusive, and I picked this up in an online outlet sale a while back. I don't think this pattern is making it into the sale anymore. I think it did sell out. And this is a Carson Hobo, a bag that I loved, and therefore it was discontinued. Which always happens. As soon as I love a style, you know, you can kiss it goodbye. Anyway, I was just hoping to get some foxes when I had to order this, obviously, and so I couldn't pick out pattern placement. You know, in an ideal world, the foxes would have been, you know, like smack in the middle there, but what are you going to do? At least I got them. They're not cut off. And it's a nice, you know, sort of whimsical, makes you feel like you're walking in a magical forest in a fairy tale or something. Very whimsical. And the colors, it's a navy blue background, and the colors are sort of a little deeper and but muted. I think it's a good fall color palette. You get the peacocks there, which is nice. I think there's other birds in here too. Yeah, there's some other birds there. So that's my first one. Like I said, no particular order. This was just at the top of the pile, but Fox Forest. Sorry for any dog chewing noises. It's either that or they kill each other during the video. Oh, and that still might happen. Please don't get all uppity, okay? This is home to Hogwarts, the Harry Potter collaboration. People know that. When this first came out, and I do have a video on it. I just bought some little things because I wasn't crazy about the pattern. But I definitely, it grew on me, and I sort of got on the bandwagon. And I did get myself a tote. I've been meaning to do another video about it, but I haven't really got my act together. So I figured I'd just show the tote here in this video. I do, again, it's a similar kind of muted, darker color palette to Fox Forest. And so I think I was having that initial reaction of like, oh, that's a little manly for me. But I do think that it's a very successful interpretation of for the collaboration, because this pattern, which when you look at it from a distance, almost looks tapestry-like or brocade-like, very medieval, and also the corduroy coordinating items really do give you that boarding school or collegiate feel. And so I think it's very successful in that way. And of course, you get all the little symbols in here, things from the story, which I'm not as familiar with, but I know some of them. I mean, for me, I never really got on board with this. I think I was a little bit older when it started to come out, and so I might have sort of missed that target group. The only real thing, I said this in my other video, the only real thing about this series that appealed to me was Alan Rickman, who I just adored and just really miss. Just a lovely, beautiful actor. And the lining is fun too. So I did change my tune about this, and I do sort of grow to appreciate it and wanted to get it since it was a limited edition. So I do think it's perfect for fall. Oh my word, yippee dog. Hi, you know, you had a toy there. You don't have to have the toy she has. Here, okay, here. Oh my god, we have toy hogs in this house. Okay, moving on. Can move on to this one, which is Autumn Leaves. another Dillard's pattern. Now, I always thought it was a Dillard's exclusive, but someone did. I do feel like someone mentioned to me that it was also available in Macy's. I don't know about that because this is pre my interest in Vera. So I got I think I got one thing from an online outlet sale in Autumn Leaves, but this I got on eBay. I know people are always asking me, what do you pay? I don't remember. I mean, I can't. There's a lot of information. I read right now. My job is basically reading for a living, so I'm consuming a lot of information, and I can't retain it all. So, I don't remember anything about what I paid really for any of this stuff, unfortunately. But I'm not paying. There are certain things that I think are worth it. Real collector's patterns and things that are in very good condition that you otherwise might be harder to find, that I will pay a little bit more for. But most of the stuff I'm buying secondhand. I'm not paying a lot for it. And most of the stuff I'm buying that's current, I'm also getting on sale. And if I'm not, like it's a custom bag, I'm using my credit card points. So this is, the Vera Tote, your basic Vera Tote. I was thinking about selling this because I did have another Autumn Leaves just a tote bag, which I did recently sell because I'm trying to be realistic about, what I'll use and what I don't use. And so I have another bag in this still. I have the Hadley tote in this. And so I was thinking, well, maybe I can get rid of this one. But I'm looking at it now and I think it just looks real nice, real warm and very rich looking. It's a good fall pattern. This is probably one of the few patterns where I will not carry it except in fall and winter. Because I just feel too self-conscious. It's too dark and fall-like with lighter clothing. But it's a good rich pattern and graphic. I like the hand-drawn look. Love this, the color of that flower. I think I have another video on. I'll try to put links to things that are related if I can find them. But I also do have playlists for people. They are just interested in looking around. I have things grouped sort of into categories that might be helpful. Okay, so that was Autumn Leaves. This is Falling Flowers. Everyone's always calling this Falling Leaves. I often call it Falling Leaves. It's Falling Flowers. This is a pattern that when it's got the regular square quilting on it, I have no interest in it whatsoever. The only reason this bag appealed to me was because of the slightly different features and the channel quilting. This is the deluxe small Vera tote. I got this in an online outlet sale, and I also have the larger version of it because I love this bag, and this is the only small Vera tote that I have that I love because I like the east-west pockets, which are both slip and zip, and it has these two panels on the front that create slip pockets, which is great, in addition to the 6 slip pockets inside. The top is edged differently. This edge is different than the regular small Vera that has sort of piping on the edge and a hidden slip pocket. This doesn't have that. The fabric is sort of folded over, which is nice. It creates this nice soft top edge. And so that in combination with the channel stitching gives this bag a real nice drape and a soft feel. It's great. You can't beat it. You cannot beat this with a stick. Like I said, the only small Vera tote I have that I love. And again, this is sort of more, I think, more masculine colors, especially this kind of Loden, kind of olive fatigue kind of green. But that does work for me for fall because I have got a kind of olive green army fatigue kind of jackets, so it works really well with that kind of stuff. Oh my goodness! Please don't push all of my stuff onto the floor, crazy dogs. Okay. Hi. Hi, Peach Love. Okay. Hi. Are you done stealing her toys? Okay. Moving on, we have Indiana Rose. And this is a Carson North-South tote. Again, a bag that I do like, so it's discontinued. It was discontinued. This is a pattern that I really didn't get into until it was retired, and then I sort of became very focused on it in typical fashion. I do think this kind of eggplant aubergine background is perfect for fall. And so even though I was sort of purchasing this stuff in the summer because that's when it was on sale recently. Oh, weird computer trouble. Sorry, my screen just did something weird. I've been having such computer trouble. I mean, I tried to load up a video a couple days ago. It's been taking me days to load up a video, and now stuff is weird with iMovie. I did a system upgrade, and stuff is just weird. I have to work out the kinks, so I apologize for that. Anyway, I love this particular flower there. It's so pretty. It's my favorite one, the pattern. And so like I was saying, I was getting all this stuff during the summer when it was on sale, and I just couldn't really, I felt self-conscious carrying it. It's a little too fall-like. I think it would be perfect for fall, so I'm excited to use them more. So Indiana Rose. This is sort of always an obvious one, and I do think this would be perfect in, you know, for winter. This is a very wintry, almost Christmassy pattern. Bordeaux Blooms. Are you okay, Peaches? I know my bag's in your way. Get used to it. But I do think it, you know, starting in fall, it's a good one to break out. I didn't take to this pattern right away, again, because of that sort of darker background, that sort of maroon or burgundy, which seemed very masculine to me. But I did fall in love with the dragonflies, so that kind of won me over. And I do think it's Christmassy too, because of all the green leaves with that burgundy background. But I was finding that I was having a lot, this was making me think of my mom a lot, because I do have some memories of my mom and dragonflies, so I wanted to became obsessed with it for a while there, and have a lot of dragonflies now. Can never have too many dragonflies anyway, so. Can never be too rich or too thin and have too many dragonflies. I also like, this is a style I'm not really crazy about, the triple zip hipster. I try to like this style, I really have tried, but I can't make it work for me. I do have a few of these that I'll keep because I like the pattern, and I wanted to like it because sometimes in limited editions, this is one of the few styles that's available other than the Vera Tote. But I just can't, it's so thin, I can't, it's too small for me, I can't make it work, unfortunately. But I do like that this one makes use of that coordinating trim, a small strip of the coordinating trim, you know, when the pattern has the trim element, that's nice. I like when they do that. So Bordeaux Blooms. This, I was hoping to have, I have a bag on order in this pattern, which is Happy Snails, but it hasn't shown up yet, and I'm starting to wonder if it's just forever lost in the mail. But this I do have, this is the only thing I have right now in this, so I thought I would break it out and show it. Happy Snails. This I think is called Card and Coin. Vintage style. Maybe someone can correct me if that's not right. There's a pin snap closure on this tab. What I thought was interesting about this when I saw this was that it's constructed of different sections, you know, small pieces of fabric sewn together with a zigzag stitching, which appealed to me, and also makes use of lining, trim, and exterior fabric all together, even on the outside. So like this top band here is part of the exterior fabric, as is this square here. But this is, you know, this is lining here, this one down here, that's lining, and this small piece of trim. And of course you get the snails. You can see the snails there, so that was kind of fun. The inside is, this is an exterior pattern on the tab. The inside is all the lining, more snails. I do think, again, sort of masculine colors, muted, mustards, and beige, and orange is very fall-like, so I think it's good for fall. But I think the sort of more masculine color scheme, what's to me more masculine, made me sort of resist this pattern, and I still am a little resistant to this pattern, but the bag style that I ordered in is the style I really love that I've recently discovered. It's a vintage style. One of my other bags is in it, so I'll show it here. But I think it was the style more than anything that got got me looking at the pattern more. This is Happy Snails. Then I have, so like Happy Snails and Indiana Rose sort of had to grow on me, and the Hogwarts had to grow on me. But this pattern never had to grow on me. I fell in love with this pattern the first time I saw it. This is Dragon Fruit Floral, another Dillard's exclusive. I do think this is also the bag that got me more on board with the Glenna, because I had been resistant to the Glenna because I didn't like the nylon lining, which felt very blousy and seemed to make the bag very slouchy. The bag seems to have more structure now, and I'm wondering if that's because they changed the lining fabric, which is a stiffer, more cotton-like lining now. It's not, I don't think it's 100% cotton. I think it's probably a cotton poly blend. But it feels more structured in there. The lining isn't as loose. It's not billowing around my stuff anymore, which I hated. It's not noisy, and I feel like it makes the bag stand up a little bit better. Because I have one I'm going to be loading up into my Patchwork because I'm going to sell it. It's the Glenna in the satchel in Wildflower Paisley, because it's just a little soft, it's a little slouchy for me. I only use it maybe 3 times because of that. So anyway, but I just love this pattern. Love that beautiful gray background with the orange and the red on top. Very vivid. Yeah, love this flower combo, right? This leaf combo right there with the red and the pink and the orange. And this almost kind of a brownish aubergine kind of color. Really fall. I think it's good for fall. I think it has kind of like an Asian feel, the motif, Asian inspired. So I like it very much. So Dragon Fruit Floral. And then I have what I'm sort of calling the quilts, the quilting patterns, and I sort of lump them all together. I do think they're all good for fall, regardless of the color palette, because of the quilting motif, which for some reason makes me think of fall and the country and, Amish. I do live close to Amish communities. I sort of jokingly say I get in my car and drive 5 minutes west and I'm in the movie Witness. So, so there's a lot of quilting around here. There's a lot of quilts around here. So this is Persistence Patchwork, the most recent. Yeah, you're going to have to wait. I'm sorry, puppy dog. You have to wait. The most recent quilting limited edition that they've put out. I do have a video about this. I can put a link. And I just love the channel stitching. That's a big draw for me. Makes the bag feel lived in without, being used looking, without being worn looking. You're already getting a bag that kind of feels softer, more malleable, has a bit of a better drape to it. And this darker color scheme is kind of, good for fall, sort of darker navy tones. So I like that. Persistence Patchwork. And, done to sort of coordinate with the 100th anniversary of the ratification of the 19th Amendment, giving women, white women, the right to vote. And then, of course, the quilt con, the 2 quilt con patterns that there are. This is Cloud Vines Patchwork. I do like this one too. Oh, puppy, please don't jump because you're kind of small. Don't jump. Still liking this one. I think, again, with the darker touches of the denim kind of fabrics, works well for fall. This looks very good with red. Whenever I try to always use this when I'm wearing my red shirt. So this was the second Quilt Con pattern that Vera Bradley did in conjunction with the Quilt Con. And, oops. Oh, you're getting all in the strap. Don't get all tangled in the strap. And of course the first one. This one is my real quilt pattern love. This is Quilt Floral, which was the first Quilt Con pattern that Vera Bradley did, and I was aware it was coming out. I was into Vera at that time, but for some reason I just spaced out, and I decided I didn't act on it at all. Sorry if I'm getting computer trouble. So, it took me a while to find this for someone who was selling one, and it was new, and so I really lucked out. And it was just, since this was such a unicorn for me, it was so satisfying to get it, and I love it. I just love it. I wish this had come out in more things. It only came out in this, and I think maybe it was a duffel, and the medium cosmetic, I think, or maybe a large cosmetic, I don't remember the size, and the triple zip. So just love that. And even though it is a lighter color scheme, I'll use it all year round. No question. Quilt Floral. Okay, I think I got all these in this pile. Yes. I can sort of move on to this pile. This is Garden Dream. This is Performance Twill. I love this pattern. I think it's so elegant and sophisticated. Look at that beautiful, the line work, the dotted line work in blue on that black. Just very rich and elegant looking. I love this flower, and I have been ordering stuff and returning stuff, trying to get that flower in good position. This is a Carson shoulder bag. Not my favorite bag, but once I realized I could switch out the Carson hobo strap and put it on here to use this as a shoulder bag with a strap drop that I like better, I got very excited. And when this bag first came out, in this pattern, I was eyeballing it, thinking I really liked it. And I was finally able to get it in an online outlet sale. So super, discounted price, so that was good. I have some videos on this from way back in the day. I don't use this bag too often, the Carson shoulder bag, but on the back it has this magnetic slip pocket, magnetic closure there. On the front it just has this flap with a magnetic, this one's a covered magnetic, this one's a magnetic snap closure, and a flap with two slip pockets underneath, and then that top zipper, which in this Performance Twill they switched to that nice new plastic zipper, so it's great. Not a huge bag. Comes with two straps, the shoulder strap, and then the crossbody adjustable strap, but you can use it as a shoulder strap too. And then this thing that I'm always bitching about. Excuse me. So I hate this strap. It's a seat belt. I never use that. And so that was the strap I was looking to replace, and I've been replacing it with the Carson hobo shoulder strap, which gets me a closer strap drop that's closer to the length that I like. So that's it. Garden Dream. Just very, very deep, like nighttime kind of pattern. I think it's very good for a fall. The leaves too. Okay, and then I can. This is Mocha Rouge. This is a pattern I like because I love these big red, azalea pink flowers. My favorite part of this pattern. I usually don't like patterns that leave big white areas because I think they look unfinished. But in this pattern, I think it works really well. Really, really love this, and I would carry this pattern all year round, but I think it works well for fall because of those deep hot pink kind of colors and the brown background. This is the style I was talking about in reference to the Happy Snails. I have one on order in Happy Snails, and this hasn't come yet. This is a 3-pocket tote, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, was a QVC exclusive. And it only came in like a handful of patterns. I mean, I can only find it in 4. This Happy Snails Sunset Safari, I want to say. I'm not sure if I'm remembering that pattern name right. And something with like big plum petals, I want to say. Something with big purple and white kind of flowers that not crazy about. And I don't like that Safari Sunset or Sunset Safari, whatever that one is. I'm not sure I'm remembering that one right either. Not crazy about that. I have seen the bag in both those other patterns as well, but it is hard to find. And when you do a search on eBay or Mercari or Poshmark and you do 3-pocket tote, every tote style under the sun comes up, because everybody who doesn't know what the style names are, they're just, if the bag has at least 3 pockets, that's how they're describing it. So the Vera tote will come up, every style you could ever hope to find comes up when you search for this bag. So it was hard to find. It was a little frustrating. But what I like about it is the nice mid-sized tote. I was getting a little overwhelmed with all these humongous Veras, and I wanted something a little bit smaller, and I like the width of it this way too. It doesn't have a zip top closure. It has a magnetic snap closure, and inside it's just this sort of quilted interior with 3 smallish slip pockets on one side and a removable cardboard base in the bottom. I have washed this. I slipped the base out and I washed it. I went through the wash fine. It was new with tags when I got it, but I washed everything. So let me just measure this for people real quick, just because I haven't talked about this, so people get an idea. I've talked about this style before. It's about 15 when I pull it across the top, and 12 to 13, no, maybe about 12 and a half top to bottom. And this width, which is what I really like about this bag, about 5. So very pleased with this style. Wish it came in more vintage patterns. I would be all over it. It's got a great, strap drop. It's a good strap drop for me. Bag sits up nice and high, 10 inches. So that's a nice strap drop for me. You know, it sits right up there. Here. Sorry, I'm a little crooked here today with my setup because I wasn't expecting to move. But just really, really like this style. That's the back. So I forgot to mention on the front of the pocket, the front side of the bag here, there are 3 slip pockets. Just the whole point of the name of the bag. Yeah, good thing to mention. So even without anything in it, you know, you can see the width of it there. That I like. I really like that. I like how it sits up high. So very pleased with this bag. And of course, super nice, you know, with these vintage styles, is that big band of trim on the top. Yeah. So that's just nice. So this will be great for fall. I tend not to, like, technically this is not a repeat. These are different flowers, I think, of the pink, different versions of the pink flower. But they do that stack is kind of a little awkward. But I feel like, you know, beggars can't be choosers with the vintage stuff. You know, you're not going to find too many. You can't always have your pick of ideal pattern placement. So this is good enough because also it's got the red flowers all over it. You know, that was kind of key for me, is to get a lot of them. So Mocha Rouge, really good vintage pattern. Very strong, very graphic, and I love the sort of hand-drawn look of it. And I thought I would end with the Foxwoods. I'll do this one first. This is the regular Foxwood pattern. This is on the go crossbody. I've shown this in a video when I first got it, I think. It's got a fox up there, and foxes on the side pockets. So this is a good find, and really good sales associate at my signature store who always hooks me up. She always helps me with pattern placement. She's terrific. Got this one for me out in the back. Oh, the bunny there, right over the label. But obviously, I mean, this is just so obviously it works for fall. The colors, the black background, yeah, the warm, very warm, kind of hot color palette is perfect for fall. So all the Foxwood will be coming back out for fall, and I got a bunch in it. I really, you know, wasn't crazy about the color scheme because it is a little hot and vibrating. I mean, that's very vibrating, that kind of black, and the lighter colors and the orange there. Very Halloween-like. So I wasn't crazy about it. And this is kind of electric. These leaves almost look like they have an electric charge to them. But you know, I can't resist. Sorry, I'm having computer problems. I just, you know, I couldn't load up videos for days. I updated my computer operating system and getting adjusted to it. Things are not really working 100% just yet. I'm lucky to even be able to put up a video. So sorry for any like screen blackout or anything that might be happening. I have to figure out what's going on there. But I couldn't resist the animals in it, and so I just ended up with a boatload of stuff in Foxwood. And of course, it's got that, you know, great lining, which it's kind of hard to see here because I do have some other stuff in here. But you get that lining with the more critters. It's all about the animals. And almost last but not least, this is Foxwood Navy. I do have a video on this bag, another Glenna. Got this on sale. Oh, no, I can't remember now. I mean, it was on sale. It was less than retail price. I can't remember exactly where I got this one. You know, this is just a gorgeous, like, brocade kind of fabric. And I do feel like this would work well in winter, but, you know, I'm so excited to use it that I'm breaking it out for fall. And just so people know, and might find it helpful to know, I have washed this bag. I can't imagine that the washing instructions said it's okay to wash it. I'm sure they must have said spot clean, but I have put this bag through the washing machine. I wouldn't do it a super lot, but I have done it, and it went through fine. I think I have a fox somewhere on here. Yeah, there's a fox. It's harder to find the foxes on this. They kind of blend in more because of their value. You know, there's like, this is a black and white kind of interpretation of a color pattern, and the fox, there's one here too. You know, because the fox was red, a reddish kind of color in the color version, he sort of drops out into this dark, you know, it's like when you Xerox red, it can look blackish. I mean, like when you're marking up, that's the only way I know how to describe this. When you're marking up proofs or something in publishing or in design, they don't want you to use blue, especially non-repro blue, because when you Xerox it, it doesn't reproduce well. It's very light or doesn't show up at all. Whereas red will. Red shows up darkly, you know, on the paper when it's Xerox, when you drop out the color. So I think that's what's going on here, is it's just that darker color sort of gets lost in the background, whereas some of these other elements were lighter in the color pattern, you know, and so they pop more because this is a value scale now that's related to the color pattern, if that makes sense. And so the foxes are a little hard to find because they're a little bit darker on the value scale, closer to the background color. They're not popping. But it's just a gorgeous bag. The lining, again, is more cotton-like, that newer kind of fabric, so it stands up nicely. I mean, this is a heavier fabric to begin with, but the bag feels like it's got good structure. It doesn't flop. Really just love this bag. A chipmunk. I think somewhere I have a bunny. Yeah, a little bit cut off. I do get the jackrabbit there. So that was it. The Glenna in Foxwood Navy, which I should mention doesn't look navy blue at all. Oddly named. And this is just sort of a bonus honorary mention. Cats Meow. I would carry this all year round. Not a problem for me. But I do want to call it out because I do think it's nice moving closer to Halloween, and people associate cats with Halloween, and so I think that, you know, anything with Cats Meow is going to work well in the fall, really well. I don't know if they're going to ever come out with that Spooky Cats version, you know, for you know, mass consumption. They came out with that one for charity, you know, they did for charity, but that everyone was, you know, pining after. Anyway, so this is sort of an honorary mention. But that's it. Hey, I'm under 40 minutes. Woohoo! My top 10, that's really 15 or 16 fall patterns. Anyway, I hope people found that fun as a change it up from the normal video. And hopefully see you next time on Vera Bradley Bag of the Day. Without any more glitches.